This is The Wire for 2200 Zulu, August 8th, 2025. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2100. Bottom line up front. Massachusetts sheriff arrested on extortion charges. Conflict escalates in Middle East. Beginning with international events, in the Middle East, conflict continues as before, escalating this week with the announcement of another Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. Israeli media has stated multiple times that the annexation of Gaza has been approved and that mobilizations are ongoing among the IDF to prepare for such deployment. In Central America, this morning, the New York Times published a story claiming that President Trump has authorized the use of military force to combat cartel operations throughout Central and South America. Analysts comment, "Right now, no official word has confirmed this, so until targets start exploding down south, there's not much to go on. Special operations targeting various cartels over the years have been a constant, so this is not entirely a new or surprising revelation. However, if these specific claims are true, this may also be the first steps in widening the war on organized crime throughout the continent. If this is the desired goal, the general situation could become kinetic rather quickly." On the home front in Washington, D.C., discussion surrounding the potential federalization of the city continues with a few different initiatives in the works. The White House has floated the idea of deploying the National Guard throughout the city in an attempt to combat the rampant crime, though the details of how this might work out in practice are unclear. In Massachusetts, Suffolk County Sheriff Stephen Tompkins was arrested this morning on extortion charges after an investigation was conducted into his department's licensing process for a cannabis company that sought to develop a new dispensary in his jurisdiction. Analyst comments for this wire. This is an interesting case, as the scheme unraveled only at the end, not at the beginning. Sheriff Tompkins had already engaged in corruption by leveraging his position in the approval process for the cannabis company. Due to the nature of the product they intended to sell, state-level requirements abound regarding working with local law enforcement groups for various approvals and licensing mandates. However, during this process, Sheriff Tompkins decided to engage in a little insider trading by purchasing $50,000 worth of stock in the company before he granted his approval to open a new dispensary, and before the company went public. However, after the company failed to financially profit as much as expected, he wanted his illegal investment back, thus the extortion charges. At the time, nobody knew that the approval authority for a cannabis company had purchased stock in that company while going through the approval process, or if anyone knew, they didn't care. In the end, it was only the sheriff's greed that got him caught. If he hadn't tried to extort the company for his money back, nobody would have ever known that the initial crime took place. This concludes The Wire for 2200 Zulu, August 8th, 2025.